Frost, sorry, starting to pull some advantages. I did a pull channeler.
We'll do it probably even more today as well there. But that's 94 to 73 CS there, Singed. Probably sat on a decent amount of gold right now before he goes home. And in fact, Shy is going to be headed home. We'll see what he decides to pick up. There is a chain vest. So nice little items here right from the very start. But got into a bit of a slower period. Both teams wanting to get as much farm as they can right now.
Yeah, so Madlife in this bottom lane, sat ready and waiting to try pull something out. Alex is heading down actually towards the dragon, as is Diamond Prox. Here comes the duo lane. Looks like Gambit are going to go for the dragon here.
They are already starting this one off, and to be honest with you, Azubu Frost aren't going to be in a position to do anything about this one whatsoever.
So a really good dragon pickup there. We mentioned earlier how sometimes they've gotten themselves in trouble by going for it early. With that one, they really make up for the kills that Shy's pressure down on them, getting even in gold.
Yeah, just slightly ahead. Blue buff was picked up. Rapid Start taking his own blue buff. Of course, that means they've got both, because Cloud Templar stole away the Gambit one earlier.
And I also want to point out the difference in jungling builds from Amumu's we've seen. Cloud Templar's maxing his E on Amumu right now. All the other Amumu's we've seen have been maxing Despair on W. I feel like this is the more common Amumu setup. You max your Tantrum and then your Bandage Toss, so you can chain the Bandage Tosses over and over in teamfights once he gets it.
Well, he is level 9, so surely going to be seeing him getting more involved in these lanes and getting that ultimate running as well to lock things down. We've actually got the Bloodthirster already finished here on Womb, and that will be their first tower of this game. That is obviously in reply to the outer turret in that top lane that was taken down earlier by Gambit, and now they're putting more pressure onto the middle.
Yeah, and you can see Cloud Templar is going to come around and we'll put a bit of hits on it. Alex actually choosing to stay away. They're kind of choosing to keep this turret here. They've had a few chances where they could have got a good few swings on towards that turret, and instead just kept the distance. Happy to stay there a little bit longer in the lane phase. Maybe it's something that Gambit have been working for, and that is going to be the race picked up by Alex.
And this is really in pretty stark contrast to the games we saw from Azubu Blaze, where it was just all turrets all the time. These guys really taking their time to farm on the lanes and get pretty powerful.
And you can see Azubu now starting to stack up in that middle. As soon as they took that bottom, this is generally what they do, and they're going to 4-man stack it. There's nothing they can do to try and prevent this one. You can see Edward just off the side. Darian's going to come in as well, but doesn't want to get caught out. He's going to get punched here. He's going to get stunned up. That's going to be straight on towards Madlife. Can he finish this one through? The rest of Gambit now coming in. You can see Alex is just off the side. They are going to leap straight in. Good one gets dropped straight away, but they're going to try and turn it around. Curse of the Sad Mommy wasn't enough. Madlife taken down. Darian gets dropped out there. Diamond Prox gets flung away. You can see the Voice Box slowing them down. And now Shy's going to get in on towards Edward. Can he get the fling down? Genja's back in now. Genja coming in, and it's going to be an even trade. Goonwung for Darian.
And Woon taken out there. I mean, he was doing well down there. He was slightly ahead in that farm edge rail. Actually, just getting a bit before there, just getting a bit more before he came in towards that fight. And that's going to be nice play coming down out of Genja. Now got that BF sword along with a pickaxe and a vamp scepter. And now it's Gambit who have got 4 men in and around this middle turret, and that is going to be made short work of.
And with that fight, it seemed like they got everything off just right. And they were a little disappointed that they only got the first kill, but after taking the turret, it really pays off because, again, they have a slight gold lead.
And now we're going to pile down to the bottom lane, pick up that giant wave, and maybe even take the turret down because Rapid Star is coming up there. Alex is going to have to defend against the 4-man push in the mid lane, though, and immediately the duo lane, Genja and Edward, go straight up to react to this one. Actually, Edward stayed down the bottom. Edward's just going to farm on his own, it seems. And here comes Diamond Prox and Genja. They were trying to get caught out by Madlife, and they will be the turret down, so Azubu Blaze, Frost pick up their own turret. It's tricky when you go, oh, great hook there onto Genja. Is it going to be enough though? No. He manages to get away. Rapid Star just trying to get in there. Madlife showing exactly why them hooks are vital on Blitzcrank.
Yeah, just one. I mean, it's such a game changer, that hook. Just one in a team fight can really change the pace of how things going to go down. So I have to keep an eye on Madlife, because up until now, he's certainly been doing the work with it.
As this game moves on, Azubu Frost realizes that all Gambit Gaming has is physical damage. And you can see, instead of going for Warmog straight up, which gives you really resistance against magic and armor since it's just straight up health, they're all going for Sunfire Capes. Shy already has his, Cloud Templar has his, Rapid Star might not be going for a Sunfire, but at least he's stacking early amounts of armor. Chain Vests and Ninja Tabi galore. Azubu's powering up, and even though the gold is really close, the team fight might not be that close.
You say they are close in terms of CS. Both AD carriers were pretty much even. The AP mids are pretty much even, although it's not an AP like you mentioned. It is Kha'Zix. It's just Shy in that top lane, but Darien is keeping that turret there. He hasn't managed to get in there. The minions are being wiped out between the waves, but Darien is definitely keeping toe-to-toe with Shy at the moment. He's behind a little bit. Both got the Sunfire capes, like you mentioned. And Woong has to be very cautious right now. He's pushing up that mid lane on his own. Alexic could close that gap pretty quickly. He's up to level 12. He's going to have the jump leveled up. You can see he's evolved it. The wings are out, but didn't go for it. Instead, chose to back away. They haven't really got much ward coverage further down. They've got the minions pushing in. They have got that one down towards the dragon. Speaking of the dragon, it is up in a minute's time. Blue buff will be next. You can see Azubu starting to get ready to place for trying to have a fight for this blue buff.
So they are going to get in there. Still a decent amount of time. That's a long time to be out of lane, to be honest. That minute and 15-20 seconds that they've taken to all congregate around that one. Darien actually going back here, I'm sure he's going to spend a good chunk of gold that he actually has on him. There's the Merc Treads for him picked up, plus the Kindle Gem, plus wards coming out for him as well. And I'm assuming going to come straight down towards that dragon in in time for it spawning.
Well, another giant spell comes out for Shy, so Warmogs will follow, but he's going to become a bit of a problem, a bit of a beast, as it were. He's going to go straight down there, and Moscow 5, Gambit Gaming, are starting to get in position.
And it's a little strange that Alex each rushed the home guard boots so soon. It's really going to diminish his team fight power in this next situation. A lot of times he could have a lot more AD. If he didn't go all the way for home guard, he might have a BF sword, and great hook by Mad Life.
The hook for Darien now, and he's in all sorts of trouble. He's not going to be able to get out of this one, but he pops his ultimate. He's hanging on in there. Crescendo comes in. Alex is jumped through. Cloud Templar follows through on towards him with the bandage toss there. And Gambit, well, they're just going to have to back away. Turn down on towards Cloud Templar. Rapid Star, though, is in there on towards Diamond Prox. Rapid Star now very low. They're going to try and leap around again. Just going to get dropped as well. It's a double kill for Shy, and they're going to continue on. The glue goes down on towards Edward. Alex leaps out of the way. They just managed to catch it, but Edward is going to be the next target for Shy. He's going to get flung through, and it's Woong that picks up the kill. It's a 4-for-1 trade.
And even though the initiation in that fight was amazing by Mad Life, that fight was won by Shy. He is a monster right now. We're only 20 minutes in, and he's got nearly 3,000 health, and in that fight had 200 armor with his ult running on top of himself. There's just no armor penetration coming in from Gambit yet, so he is pretty much unkillable.
Oh, there is Alex coming in. He's managed to get the steal as well. And it was with the one single part of it right at the edge. That was amazing play out of Alex.
Wow. Cloud Templar didn't use his smite, whether he was waiting to save it or what, I'm not too sure, but wow, great steal from Alex Itcher. I thought he was maybe going to come in and see if he could get some exit kills, but instead just pops his void spikes off.
Well, Cloud Templar wasn't there, so there was no smite available for Azubu. They really had to spike it down with damage, and Alex just won out.
Amazing,
beautiful stuff. So top lane, Darien is going up there, and well, he's going to get another big chunk of farm. Really, it seems to me that Darien's going to have to start becoming so beefy. He's almost certainly becoming the target at the moment. They're trying to take him out of the game very quickly, but Shy is just quite happily running through the entire team, getting on towards Genja, and Genja's having a few issues trying to keep him away. Edward landed a great crescendo in that fight, kept them all busy, but it didn't matter because Shy was in there, straight in their faces.
Yep, straight into him after that one. And Shy, before that fight, picked himself up a Giant's Belt. After that fight, picked himself up the Warmog. So that didn't take long, let's say that. And they're actually now pushing in towards this outer top turret as Shy just running off towards Darien, probably going to try and force him completely away. We'll see Edward and probably Diamond Prox coming to do something about this one. The tower was already low from earlier though, and that is going to be turret number 3. All the outer turrets now picked up by Azubu Frost.
Yeah, just one more remaining for Gambit to try and get along that bottom lane, which you can see Alex is trying to motor on and clear that wave out, but Azubu are starting to stack up in this mid, seeing if they can take advantages. Woong immediately heads towards the red. It's what he does. As soon as they suddenly have that turrets down, he wants to see if he can pick up anything from it, try and gather themselves out, put the pink ward in that bush, and now it is all about Mad Life. Can he land the hooks on towards the tower as they start to pressure on? Alex is continuing on that bottom turret. He's going to take that one down. So you can see Azubu Frost starting to try and get their position going. There's a fight going on just up the top there. It was Shy getting on towards Darien, but they all back away. Still 4v5. Alexic now returned.
Yeah, Shai really not taking much damage considering what they really threw at him from that one, and Azubu decide, okay, we probably can't push this one. They're all going to come back in with decent amounts of health from that bit of action there. So let's have a look at the overall gold count right now, 32.3 to 30.9. So nice little health lead for Azubu Frost, obviously losing out on that last dragon courtesy of a nice Alexic steal, but they are ahead here in the turrets.
And I gotta say, this is a much better Moscow 5 than we saw on Friday, because they were, well, not, sorry, I call them Moscow 5, Gambit Gaming, ex-Moscow 5, but everyone understands where they're coming from. They're doing a really good job staying in this game, just compared to the 0-2 start, really good against Azubu.
Yeah, and Alex just goes off down the bottom there, picks up another chunk, great big wave of minions, and like you mentioned, there's a more Giant's Belt popping in. Of course, why not? Get a little more armor as well, Shai, while you're at it. Just keep stacking out every item that's just really completely going to counteract. What is he going to go for here, Jack? I mean, he's already got the Giant's Belt and Sunfire Cape. One more, is he going to go Thornmail?
It's either a Thornmail or a Randwinds. He can go either one, or he can just get both, because there's no magic damage threat coming from Gambit Gaming, so if he just keeps stacking up that stuff, he's going to get more and more powerful. Frozen Heart would also be a really good buy.
He's hanging around about 200 armor currently as well, so just really hard to be dented, to be honest, in a team that's all going to be physical damage coming in towards him, and that's going to allow him to do a typical Singe thing and just push and push and push this whole time without really having too much fear of someone coming in there and 1v1 him, because they just don't have the damage to do it yet.
So my question is, Jack, you can see the two Bloodthirsters now built up their last Whisper in there. We're going to get a Black Cleaver almost certainly next for Alex. How is this going to stack up against all this armor? Are they going to be able to shred it down enough?
I don't think so. It's a matter of the last Whisper doing 35%. Sure, the Brutalizer's giving him 10 armor pen right now, but even if they get all of it together, they still need a huge amount of power. And at this point, Genja, even though the last Whisper was the right item, needs a lot of attack speed and crit to even think about denting Shai.
Those creep waves are just getting wiped out every time they come in there, so they are going to have to tank the turret, but if they do keep stacking all that armor up, that's not going to be a problem. They can just walk in and fight the turret. As it is, though, we are going to have a stalemate standoff in that mid lane. A couple of Giant spots coming out for Gambit as well, you can see on Darien and Diamond Prox, but that creep wave is getting wiped out just before he gets to the turret.
Let's see if Azubu do decide to tank this one. I think it's more a case of Madlife trying to get in there and pull someone out to them so they can collapse on and force Moscow 5 to either give up one of their players or then go straight in towards that fight. Here we go then, all hanging around by the middle. Actually, Alex just diving away, but Cloud Temple are going to get the ulti down. There is a crescendo coming out of Edward. He's already fairly low, and look at Rapid Star falling so quickly. Cloud Temple now the focus on that one. We are going to see Alex Inch come in. He's got the reset. He's going to jump over, gets the slow across all three. Alex goes low. He was exhausted, and then not even finished off by that one. Graves goes down. Madlife pulls Darien in towards the turret. He's going to walk away with hardly anything. Madlife doing a lot of the same. Genja actually tanking the turret up there, but Shai isn't able to get around to finish off. Great fight from M5.
And that was just an example of Azubu overcommitting and Shai not being the tank that he is. Everyone went in and got focused, and I'm sure they couldn't kill Shai, but other people weren't nearly as tanky as him. So Gambit did the great thing, didn't focus the Singed, focused everyone else, and came out with a big fight win.
So Gambit do set themselves up, and that actually gives them the gold lead as well. And now Alex going to wipe out that creep wave as well. It gave a Warmogs across the Darien. The Warmogs almost certainly going to go across the Diamond Prox. They're starting to stack their own Warmogs health items up. We do see Warmogs being built by Cloud Templar, and previously it used to be all about that Guardian Angels, but definitely the game has switched towards the Warmogs. Dragon being picked up by Gambit here, just down below. They are going to get that one for free. That's going to give them another gold advantage, stretching it to a 1k lead in terms of gold. We are still at 3-2 turrets though, so the lead for Azubu Frost in terms of turrets, but they still, as yet, every time they've come towards poking that mid turret, they don't seem to dent it.
And something that's happening here is Alex Ich's farm is ballooning. He's at 246 on Kha'Zix, which is 30 higher than even Shai on Singed, who seems to have just been free farming and been unstoppable this entire game. Sneakily enough, Alex is becoming a really huge man here with 9,000 total gold.
Let's see what he goes in for next. Obviously, got that Brutalizer, Bloodthirster, Giant's Belt in there, so got a whole lot to complement what he can do in these fights. Genja also got that last Whisper, got the Bloodthirster in there. Not too much else right now, but he's got the mobility to be okay in those fights as well. And now Gambit trying to push this middle lane out. You see that Shy taking a couple of hits, which translate to basically nothing.
Well, Gambit setting themselves up. Is it going to be a poke towards Baron? Just looking towards, seeing whether it's just more placement coming out, though. They are going to back off. Alexic going to go back and buy an item. Let's see what he picks up here.
And you can see Alex, with the third evolution being his ultimate, combined with the Giant Spell purchase, really changes things. Since he decided to go R over Q for Evo, he's going to be getting reduced damage and a third stealth every time he goes in, which is actually going to make him incredibly elusive. If he would have went the Q, he would have been going kind of all-in spike, but that's not what they need here. They need him to stick around and fight, so it's a smart choice. And the item he bought was an Oracles.
I was just thinking, he went back and I thought, didn't see any items pick up. It must be an Oracles, and sure enough, Alexic with an Oracle, which is a careful thing when you're the champion that's going to be leaping into the fight. It's a deadly thing to go for, but nevertheless, he's going to pick it up. And like you mentioned, he's starting to win out that farm wave. They still haven't gone and pinned out that bottom turret. It's going to get taken down by minion waves sooner or later, because they have gone towards it. Madlock with a hook there on towards Edward. Couldn't quite land it, though. And Alex will take out another ward. And well, slowly but surely, Gambit Gaming is starting to feel confident here. They're going to start pushing the mid.
And Warmog Sunfire being completed onto Cloud Templar. Shy looks like he's going for another Sunfire cape, but it looks like it's going to be a Randwinds. And the big item that might change the next fight is Rapid Star's Zonya's Hourglass. The fight they lost was because right after he ulted, he got exploded. He's going to be able to avoid that in the next one.
So, when is that next dragon coming up? 33-17. You can see Alex has actually headed down towards this bottom lane, continuing that farm. And we talked about the Oracles. Yes, he's the first man in there, but he's also the one that's had all that free farm in the last minutes as well. So, can certainly afford to add something like that into his repertoire. And the kills spread really nicely as well over Moscow 5. One apiece with two there on on Darian as well on Renekton. But both teams hanging around this middle area, neither wanting to make that fatal mistake which can cost you the all-important early first game winning the best of three. Can never be underestimated, as Madlife is going to go charging in. Can he manage to pick anyone off, though? Can he get that grab down?
Well, you can see the hooks. And if he goes for Genja, well, he can just arcane shift out of it. Bottom turret was picked up. Alex is starting to work his way through. And Gambit want to turn this one into the fight. Alex is going to come in a little bit late. They do dive up towards Cloud Temple. They're going to try and force him, see if he can go for that. Because of the sad mommy instead. You can see Darian, the true shot for us. Oh, very nice. He hits everyone. Rapid Star taking down very low. Alex is so too deep. He does get dropped down, but Genja's now in the fight. But Azubu Frost turning this one very nicely. Rapid Star goes down on towards Shy. Shy is very tanky. Goon Whoop just off the side. He's picking them off as much as he can. You can see Shy on towards Genja. Genja trying to go, but he's in the poison trail. He's going to get dropped down by the poison enemy. No, Goon Whoop comes in. Goon Whoop taken down very low. He gets dropped. Now Shy's the target. Cloud Templar on towards Diamond Prox. Diamond Prox thrashing out. He should be able to avoid the damage here. And that was a 3-for-3 trade, but the Oracle lost on Alexic.
And that was actually an amazingly played fight by both teams. Shy was trying to zone out all the damage dealers of Gambit Gaming, but then the important ones jumped past it to get to the backline of Azubu Frost. And from there, the mistake was made that they tried to fight Singe. They should have just turned tail and run immediately, because they realize now there's no way they can kill him for a ways yet.
Yeah, he saw all of them hammering away at him, and well, just not really making that much of a dent into him. Diamond just protected that middle inner turret there, as we have seen the Mani Moon picked up by Kha'Zix as well.
And he's been stacking that tier all game. He just got the last stacks on it to become the Mirror Mana, making his assassination potential hugely greater. A lot of people don't realize that applies on his Q. You might see Alex Itch just make Wound disappear at some point if he gets a good jump on him.
Well, we will see. He's been farming like a beast every time that bottom wave builds up, which is exactly what Shy's doing right now. Shy's gone back down that bottom. You can see he's actually 40 CS ahead of Shy right now. Now he's heading up towards the top, so they've obviously chose, okay, we're going to get Alex crazy fed. You'd normally see Genja going off to the side doing this. As it is, they're keeping Alex doing it. Rapid Star putting the one, the Tri-Bush immediately spot him out there, and there's a Thornmail on Shy. Thornmail, well, but the thing is, they're not going to go for Shy. Shy is going to be the last target. And that Thornmail, yes, it's going to hurt, but once he's the last target, they're hopefully, in their eye, going to have a 5v1.
So we'll move into a bit of a quieter period once again. Both teams posturing around this middle area. Genja has just got his red buff. You see there the Oracle running on Mad Life as well, which makes him an attractive target to take down to get rid of that Oracle. And they are now headed into the top side of the Moscow 5 jungle, of the Gambit Gaming jungle, should I say. There's another Giant's Belt there for Shy, which has been there a little while, actually. And now they are just hanging around in the river, waiting for someone to make a mistake and check in there, which, you know, Gambit, you wouldn't expect that they'd go for something like that, but look at this, they're going down for Dragon. Unluckily for Azubu Frost, there are no wards down there, so they can't say, well, they're at Dragon, let's go straight in towards Baron.
Yeah, luckily, before when Alex each had the Oracles, he went to split push bottom and he made sure those wards were clear, so they had a pretty good idea where those were. As Darian gets
the Cloud Templar's bandage just stunned him, so the hook missed. He would have walked straight into the hook. Instead, they're going to turn it into a fight, and now they're going to dive in. Diamond Prox gets in towards it. Crescendo comes across. It nullifies the Cloud Templar's ultimate, and they can see Gambit, Alex leaping on towards him. Darian gets taken down to go towards Madlife, trying to pop on towards him. Madlife taken down very low. Cloud Templar, the next target. Diamond Prox getting the knock up in the air. Alex Itch on towards Shy at the top there. Shy is actually shredding very low. Cloud Templar goes down. Wood has to flash away. They're turning back towards Shy. Shy taking down very low as well, but he's going to back away. Alex Itch realizing they've got the advantage. It's a 2-for-1. They're going to turn to Baron.
They probably won that fight just enough to be able to get this Baron. Woong is going to try to lifesteal up, but the creeps just aren't there for him. Gambit Gaming also has a lot of wards coming up towards it. They may as well just get this.
Baron down to around about half HP. Let's see if they can finish it off. Azubu Frost won't be able to get anywhere near that one. Actually, Woong is going straight up middle here to try and get on towards that inner turret. This could be a risky play out of him. You burned that flash a little bit earlier on. Does have an exhaust to work with from that side as well. But you can see they're closing in onto him. There's a jump from Alex. Doesn't quite get the slow. And Woong is just going to get himself through the wall. But will Genja be able to catch up to him here?
They're going to try and catch, but no, it's not going to happen. They pinged it. They said, yep, the rest of the team are there. Pick up the blue, take your advantages, get a big farm. Darian farming out the big wave up the top there as well. Items all being picked up. More items stacked up here. As it is, Gambit are managing to lay down the damage in the right point. Like you mentioned, Alex Itch just deleted Mad Life in that last fight, despite the fact his mana shield popped in.
It's going to be really difficult for Azubu to deal with this because, yes, they were able to stack armor on their front line, but Gambit Gaming is completely bypassing it. Darian, Diamond Prox, and Alex can all get to the back line, so the armor that Shy and Cloud Templar have accumulated is only applying to Genja, who's also trying to jump past. Now with the Black Cleaver onto Darian, they might have a chance of actually touching Shy's singed armor. We'll see how it plays out now they have a Baron buff pushing up mid.
Well, certainly they'll run through the rest of the team that bit easier, and then if they can get Shy, if they can get onto him, then they can certainly drop him from this one as they push that middle lane out once again. How far are they going to get with this Baron buff on them? Moving down as a 5-man unit. They've seen Shy actually up in the river. Will they peel off and try and take him out?
Well, they might be see Gosu Pepper just sticking off the side there, aka now Edward. Darian's had to slice and dice to dodge out of that Blitzcrank. Very nicely done. I'd appreciate the skill here. Infinity Edge been picked up by Genja as well, so the damage definitely amplifying for Gambit along with that Baron buff. All avoiding the void spikes at the moment. Shy seeing if you can get anywhere near and on. They're going to see Evelyn down the bottom now. Rapid starts showing himself, clearing out that huge wave. Gambit might well try and bully this one out.
Yeah, and this could be bad news as Cloud Templar is actually going to go in there, but walk straight out. Darian going to be flung into the middle of him, but slice and dice again away from the grab of Blitzcrank.
The jukes have been incredible by Darian in this past bit. Giving Blitzcrank to Mad Life is usually death, but they have done such a good job avoiding his hooks almost this entire game. And this siege is starting to take its toll on Azubu. You can see multiple members are losing a fair bit of health. And if they try to initiate, I think Gambit would fight them. They're going for the turret.
Here comes the minions. They're all down there. They're going to try and dive in. They haven't pulled out the Curse of the Sad Mummy yet, but that turret now down to half. You can see Rapid Stars return to it, but again, those Void Spikes keeping on the damage. And Shy is down to half health. He's the strongest member, and he is losing hit points here. Mad Life's just had to go back. They're going to be a 4v3 on the turret. Siege Minion will be coming down in a moment for Gambit Game, but they are going to fight it out there, and it's just not going to be enough for Mad. Like those home guard boots are not going to matter. They've backed off. They took the inner turret. They're just going to go clear the rest of the waves and take the blue.
Yeah, blue buff going to go down and over towards Gambit. Nice work from their side of things. Actually, Azubu Frost going through the bottom side of their own jungle. You can see those wards on the minimap there left behind by Gambit just to keep that vision to figure out exactly where Azubu were going to come out.
It's actually a good thing they finished off the turret that early because you can see Diamond up top. There was a huge creep wave that he would have been able to that would have probably just ended up pushing the turret. And I got to point out, Edward has went this entire game without any gold per 10 items. He really just got the Ruby Sightstone and the Kindle Gem has been sitting on it. He's very slowly making his way towards a Zeke's Herald, which will help him a lot when he completes it. It'll actually be the first aura item we see really on either team if you don't count the Lock of Iron Solari on Diamond. This is looking really good for Gambit Gaming right now.
Yeah, Last Whisper picked up by Alex Itch, getting that armor penetration. Still hasn't gone towards that Black Cleaver, but of course, why bother when you got that Mirror Mana Bloodthirster? Damage seems to be coming out enough. They're trying to counter it. It's going to be a Randian's Omen coming out for both Cloud Templar and Shy, but as it stands, they've not been able to go off and get any extra farm.
And the armor on Cloud Templar and Shy is nice, but it's not really going to help them in teamfights because, as we said before, Gambit Gaming is completely bypassing that tank line. They need to get armor onto Mad Life, Woong, and Rapid Star, and they just haven't been able to do that.
Right now, both teams again stacked up inside of the middle. Gambit have no Baron buff remaining. That now has ran out. Back up again at 41-41 there, as you can see in the top right of your screen. So not too long of a time, to be honest with you. It's time that they're going to have to get back up towards that Baron, get those wards down. Alex Itch does have an Oracle there, you can see, and they're going to be clearing that one out as soon as they possibly can as well. So
Gambit Gaming ready and waiting for this Baron to spawn in 10 seconds time. 11 kills. They have that 4,000 gold advantage though through that extra farm they've been picking up, and of course the turrets all square 4-4. Well, this is going to be another dragon picked up. Remember, they got that epic steal, Alex Itch. There it is. They're going to come around the backside now. Azubu Frost pushing up the mid. Are they going to get caught out by position here? Gambit Gaming can come right round the back of them.
That ward put down there, that may just be enough to warn them of what's going to happen. Alex Itch actually pulled away from the Curse of the Sad Moment, but he's taking a lot of damage. Crescendo goes across. Rapid Star is taking a lot of damage, but the focus switches over onto the AD carry. Woong, he's dropped. There is Ezreal going down though as well. Rapid Star with that Guardian Angel is going to come back into the fight. They pull Diamond away as well. He's going to flash away to escape that one. They switch over onto Edward, easy target, and that is a 3-for-1 in favor of Frost.
And we need to see how well Azubu can push his advantage, because that was a huge pulled off by Mad Life there. Getting the start on Alex, really completely winning them that fight from the start. They're going to take a lot off of this one.
Taking that huge damage dealer out of it. They are going to turn though. They have got the home guard boots, but Diamond Prox doesn't want to dive too deep. Rapid Star is a juicy target he really wants to get onto. Instead he could turn in towards Shy there. They are going to continue to chase this one and just beat them away, but it would be a 2-man versus 4 and really a naive attack. They are just going to try and push them out as quick as possible. They realise that Azubu are going to try and back off. They're going to go straight towards blue. Could this be the classic solo queue error by Templar here? Are they going to come around? He should be able to smite it away, but he's just not going for it. He's just not reacting. He should have realised his own blue was up.
And maybe with the Baron coming up as well, that smite would be handy moving forward, but we'll have to see about that one. It's up in around about 30 seconds from now, and Azubu need to get themselves home and come back into this one before Gambit get themselves really ready to start that one off. The ward from Gambit actually spotted Amumu on that bottom side as well.
Some really good purchases actually coming out from Azubu Frost. Woong picked up the Randwin's Omen, which is honestly the best possible defensive item he could have gotten against Gambit Gaming. Also, Rapid Star completed the Guardian Angel and then picked up a Giant's Belt on top of that. So the backline that had been getting attacked so much by Gambit Gaming's dive is starting to beef up a little bit, and we'll really see if that comes into effect.
Both teams starting to set themselves up here. 3 Randian's Omens, all picked up by Azubu Frost, you mentioned. 3!
That's a lot.
All in one return. That is definitely going to change things. But the ward's starting to come out because Baron is up, and they're getting ready to have a fight for it. You can see Gambit already in position here. Mad Life with that Oracle has just cleared out a couple of Gambit's wards, and well, Darian's got to be careful. Diamond Pro's got to be careful he doesn't get hooked from Mad Life there. Mad Life looking to get a hook. He's going towards Genja instead. Clears out the ward. Oh, the hook! Just a whisker away from Diamond Prox there. Instead, Darian trying to keep those super minions away in that mid lane. They're going to have the advantage. They're going to get in. They're going to clear all the wards out.
The way Azubu likes to play these situations is they basically fish for hooks. They wait for Mad Life to start the perfect fight for them, but Gambit's not going to let that happen as they go in.
Diamond does go in there. Where's the Crescendo? They need it out here. There is the Crescendo. Curse of the Sad Mummy actually came around. Edward is starting to fall low there. The Rando is popping left, right, and center. Darian right in on top of them as well. Both teams fairly low HP as Alex Itch is going to join the fight. There he is. Gets the shutdown. Can he finish off Cloud Templar as well? Yes, he will. He's going to jump over the wall. He's going to come in. Absolutely blows him up, hops away, triple kill. Edward may just fall, yes he will.